Hello and welcome back to another video. It's me, Mike Spiller. I wanted to bring up a topic. It may have already been discussed. I don't feel like any idea that we come up with is original. Not really. I think most times it's something that's been thought of, but it's just never been brought to the forefront where people haven't even discussed it or anything like that. The topic at hand today is a game worthy of a second chance. And I wanted to title it Second Chances because I remember this game, playing it on the PS3, and I thought it was absolute garbage. I could not stand the mechanics, the gameplay, the story. Everything was of a disinterest for me. I quickly found myself wanting to disconnect myself from this game within probably the first hour, but it was suggested to me when the game came out on the PS4 to give the game a try again. He was like, a good buddy was like, the game has kind of changed a little bit. It looks a little bit better visually. The mechanics are a little bit different. You're able, pretty much the game doesn't feel broken. And that game is Murder Soul Suspect. I started playing this game again about a week ago. I got it on sale. There was a PSN sale. I thought, well, it's only $7. What could I really lose? I've bought retro games for more than that. I've bought retro games for $10, and then they turned out to be a bust. So I went in, and what I always do, I try to clear my mind, go in with a blank slate as far as what I thought about the game before versus what I think about the game now. So once I started playing the game, I was like, okay, it kind of feels the same. I remember some of these parts of the game, but there was something that happened. I was able to find the clues, the first round of clues, that got me into the apartment. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I didn't do nothing but wander around the yard, and I was glitching all over the place. And I don't know if I didn't have a patch downloaded on the PS3, but when I got on the PS4, I started playing it, and I'm a person that likes to use my detective skills, my observation skills, reading people as far as off your body language, what you're telling me. So those things automatically started to sync me up with this game. And so I found myself being interested in the game. So I made it through the apartment. I found like the first round of clues. Then I found some more clues, and it led me into his apartment. Well, it led me to where he was pushed out of the window initially during the opening scenes. Everything just started to come together. And it was like, oh, so that's why the topic Second Chances came up to me. Have you ever played a game, thought it was utter shit, and then you played it again, and you were like, wow, this game actually turned out to be pretty fun. There's a list of games that I've played, and I just it didn't click for me like Deus Ex. I think it was Deus Ex Revolution or whatever the last one was. I tried to play it, but I've come to the realization that I am not the stealth game kind of guy. So the Metal Gear games, when it's hardcore, the big premise of the game is going to be stealth. I lose interest in it. I don't like having to take my time to make moves and be strategic in that manner. I'll lose complete love for the game. Even if the game is absolutely brilliant, I still won't. It's the same thing that happened with me with, so it was Deus Ex, Dishonored. This a different type of game, but some games I just find myself that could be high up on the level of just love. But to round back to Murder Souls, I think this game overall got a lot of general senses. Like, the general public just utterly hated the game and they trashed the game. But then I would see like a few little people pop up here and there and saying, hey, you know what, this game is actually pretty good. And I was like, what are they talking about? from what I played, this game is garbage. And they're like, no, 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 no. You really got to give it a try. And then one of my buddies told me, play it on the PS4 instead of the PS3. It plays a lot better. And so at this point, I've already solved like 3 cases or something like that. I'm already on the trail of finding who murdered me. I already found the girl that was hidden. Sorry if there's any spoilers for people. I found the girl that was hidden in the apartment. I found some clues about the lady over there by the ocean. And now I'm finna move on to the next thing. I'm on my way to the church to find out some more clues about his case. What happened to him. It's basically a guy that was kind of like a thug, I guess you can say. He was covered in tattoos. He's had a hard lifestyle. He's done a lot of things. But most people would say it was karma that kind of caught up with him, all his old ways. His wife ended up getting murdered early in the, during the early sequences of the game. And it seemed like everything he was doing in his life before he became a police officer caught up with him. So now everything is coming back. But in this one particular case, it may not be his fault. So we're trying to figure out, as a gamer, as a person, as him, trying to figure out who is it, why is it they wanted to kill him, and what was really going on. So you're basically going through the game and figuring out some stuff. So my suggestion to you is give a game a second chance, even if it was bad. Because I played some really bad games that have been deemed bad and not worthy to be played. Played them and actually enjoyed them. I've found some titles, like, people may go through my collection and they'll be surprised. There may be some games in there, they'll be like, oh, that game was utter garbage, or it was just terrible. But anyway, have you ever given a game a second chance? Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share the video out, do it with love, hit the subscribe button. I'm Light Spiller. I'm out.